The jobs report is collapsing, unemployment is quietly ticking upward, and seniors across America are asking one urgent question: where is the stimulus check that was promised? All right, so stick with me because what I'm about to share with you over the next couple of minutes could determine if you receive a boost in your benefits or if you're left out in the cold. So, we're going to be talking about Social Security increases, a stimulus check potential, a new federal directive impacting benefit disbursements, and what every retiree and fixed income American must know heading into the second half of 2025. So let's dive right into it. All right, so let's start here. August 1st isn't just going to be another date, it could be the tipping point for the national stimulus conversions. All right, so August 1st, non-farm payroll report, the one measuring new jobs added to the economy, is the key economic indicator that lawmakers watch like hawks, right? So when that number comes in low, fear spikes on Capitol Hill. Why? Because when jobs shrink and unemployment rises, recessions typically follow. So here's the thing. This is exactly when stimulus talks start to ramp up, right? So bottom line is that lawmakers start to get nervous, voters get loud, and Congress starts using words like emergency package, economic relief, and direct aid. All right, so let's assume that unemployment hits 5.5% or more, as some analysts are now predicting, right? That's going to be critical because in past years, lawmakers pushed to tie automatic stimulus to unemployment benchmarks, right? So the theory was simple: hit 5.5%, then you send the checks. Hit 6%, you send even more checks. And here's the crazy part: we're closer to those numbers than the media is actually telling us. So you probably may be wondering, will I qualify for the next stimulus? And people ask me this question all the time. And here's the thing, right? When it comes to this, you want to understand this, right? If you're receiving Social Security retirement, supplemental security income, Social Security disability insurance, VA disability or VA pension, low income wages, or no income at all, you're going to be squarely in the highest priority group for stimulus eligibility, right? So that's one thing that you need to understand. It's not really about the age. So being 62, 72, 92 really doesn't matter. Stimulus is not age based. It's not about the program. So it doesn't matter whether your money is coming from SSI, SSDI, VA, or retirement benefit. There's no discrimination between these programs when relief is issued. It is going to be about income though, right? So here's the simplest way to see it, right? So if your adjusted gross income, also known as AGI, is below 75,000 as an individual or 150,000 as a couple, you've qualified for every round of stimulus in the U.S. history, right? So unless you're collecting six figures in government benefits, and let's be honest, that's probably almost nobody, you're likely probably going to qualify for this, right? So any upcoming stimulus checks that are going to be coming out, right? And here's the secret key to remember, right? Stimulus eligibility is pre-calculated based off of your most recent filed tax return, SSA or VA benefit record. So that means if you haven't filed your taxes lately, the government looks at your SSA or VA records, all right? So if you receive your benefits via direct deposit, you're already on the radar. If you have a My Social Security account set up, you're probably even better positioned for this. And the bottom line is this, right? The truth is most of you watching this are going to be eligible or will be, right? But the real risk is being digitally invisible when payments roll out. So if a stimulus check return in 2025, which let's face it, it could happen fast if the economy dips, being in the system already gives you a 3-week head start on everyone else. So let's recap a couple of things, right? Just to give you some confidence, right? On SSA, SSDI, SSI, VA, you're included. If you're under $75,000 a year, you're probably going to be included. If you filed taxes recently or received the direct deposit benefits, you're already included, but only if your information is correct, right? So you want to make sure you're on the list before the next round drops. So just to walk you through a couple of things that you want to make sure you double check here. I'm going to be breaking down if you stick around. And if you are helping parents, a neighbor, or a veteran friend, make sure you go ahead and share this with someone. It could actually make a difference on them getting the check. All right. So here's some good news. All right. So in January 2025, you will receive that COLA adjustment, which is cost of living adjustment of 2.5%. But before you celebrate, here's the problem, right? The average Social Security benefit is around $1,976 per month, right? That's a 2.5% increase. That's just $49.40 extra. And here's what most people don't understand. Inflation over the last 2 years have eaten away more than 10 years worth of COLAs. According to the Seniors Citizens League, the average retiree has lost $370 a month in buying power since 2010. Now, this might be the most important thing I share with you in this video. On January 5th, actually 2025, the Social Security Fairness Act was signed into law. So this law actually eliminates WEP and GPO policies, and that previously reduced the benefits for over 2 million public servants like teachers, postal workers, local government employees. So if you had a pension from non-Social Security covered work and earned Social Security benefits or were entitled to spousal benefits, you were likely penalized, but not anymore. So starting retroactively January 2024, your benefits will increase, and you may even get a lump sum here of a payment. So here's why it's important for you. Many affected retirees had their benefits reduced to $400 to $600 per month, and that money is finally now coming back. So here's something that might surprise you when it comes to this. All right. So on January 27th, 2025, a powerful new directive called Memorandum M2513 quietly reshaped how Washington handles financial assistance. So it was issued by the Office of Management and Budget under the Trump administration, and this memo froze all non-Medicare, non-Social Security financial assistance, so instantly putting a hold on billions in federal support. Now, let's be clear, right? Your core Social Security and Medicare benefits are going to be safe. This pause does not cut those benefits, but, and this is going to be crucial, it affects everything else. So community grants for seniors, assistance to veterans, housing for nonprofits, nonprofit health education programs, green energy, retrofits in public housing, emergency relief tied to inflation or climate events. Bottom line is any stimulus program, especially anything resembling COVID era EIPs, must now survive a rigid filter, right, on multi-agency review process. So this memo explicitly targets funding tied to DEI initiatives, climate programs, and even gender equity grants, and that means stimulus won't look like stimuluses anymore. So what does that mean for you, right? New economic relief will likely be bundled into tax credit expansions like the EITC or CTC. All right, state manage emergency housing relief, temporary utility subsidies, enhanced Medicare drug savings via the Inflation Reduction Act, and all of it will be marketed under the economic recovery, not stimulus. So while we wait for the next big announcement, here's the $1 million tip, right? You have to be plugged in, all right? The next wave of aid will go to those eligible, verified, digitized, and eligible, and everyone else, right? So what to expect next? Here's the truth, right? Multiple top analysts from Moody's to Bank of America are flashing warning signs, right? So a formal recession could be declared as early as Q4 2025. What's driving it is going to be the softening of the job market, consumer spending, as well as reduced global economic volatility, tightening monetary policies from the Fed. And here's the crazy part, right? You won't hear the word stimulus in the public, but behind the scenes, the conversation's already happening. And if unemployment does go above 6%, GDP shrinks 2 quarters in a row, and consumer spending goes down, stimuluses will return quietly, selectively, and surgically to the people that they feel needs it the most, right? Because the last time relief checks went out, over 9 million Americans were either underpaid or missed out completely simply due to outdated direct deposit information or unfiled taxes. So here's a couple of things that you want to make sure you take advantage of now to make sure you are eligible before this happens. You want to make sure you create or update your SSA My Account. www.ssa.gov/my account. This is going to be your control center for your benefits. As well, you want to make sure all the information there is up to date. Make sure you verify your direct deposit information as well. Organize your income documentation. That's going to be important. And you want to check your eligibility for extra help on Medicare if you need so. All right, so that concludes this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you go ahead and share this with someone. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care.